Hey guys, Meow, it's Cat here, and welcome to the 600 slash 700 slash 800 slash 900 subscriber special. I know, I was falling behind. Bear with me, you guys are coming in faster, like way more than I expected, so thank you for that. Secondly, so voting was a little off. Hawks ended up winning, but you guys, I understand we love him, I love him as well, but we occasionally need to take a little break, especially when I can't find so many stories online, and particularly on Wattpad. So it came down to the tie of Dobby and Shinzo, and I chose Shinzo over Dobby because we have done a Dobby story, and I need to give all these characters some love on this channel because I know some people might like one character than the other or don't hear as many stories, so I decided, hey, let's do something new. Let's give love to Shinzo, please. Like, he's a good character. But anyway, so this story is called Lonesome, and this is by flawless underscore babe on Wattpad. So a link will be down in the description below, and I all hope you enjoy. The month was January. You're fairly new to UA, but had already managed to turn heads in Class 1A due to your strong quirk, good grades, and ethereal looks. Everyone outside of Class 1A either didn't notice you or was kind of annoyed that the new student got into the most envied beginning hero class so easily. To be fair, you were transferred from Shiketsu Academy, and on top of the first year class there, you were forced to transfer due to your parents having to move because of their ever-growing business. Despite every other student giving you the cold shoulder, everyone in Class 1A was very kind towards you. A few of them recognized you from the hero licensing exam, so they were eager to approach you, but the group you mainly hung out with was known as the Boku Squad. You had gained Bakugo's favor due to Kami and Inuyasha introducing you to him and Todoroki after one of their remedial training lessons. The angry blonde came up to you the first day of class before lunch and said, "You're strong and refuse to go down. Plus you're not mouthy, so I don't hate you," which had you confused until a red-haired boy who you later came to know as Kirishima, came up behind Bakugo and translated by saying, "That's Bakugo's speech for, you should sit with us at lunch. He's not great with being nice." Ever since that day, you began sitting with a rambunctious group and became fairly close to Jiro and Mina, who were both excited to have yet another girl in the friend group. About 3 days in, you quickly began to notice a lavender-haired boy in the lunchroom who was either always alone or with a group of people who all seemed to talk over him or just ignore him in general. He can be surrounded by people and still be all alone, you thought to yourself as you continued to admire the melancholic boy whom you wanted to know oh so badly. "His name is Shinsou. He'll most likely be transferring into the hero course next year," Kaminari whispered in your ear. He had noticed you admiring his friend for a couple of days now, and internally he kind of shipped you two after getting to know you more and seeing how well your personality would fit his. "He's not in the hero course yet?" you asked the ecstatic blonde, who just shook his head. "You know, I can introduce you if you want. I'm sure you two would get along famously," he informed you. Your cheeks instantly erupted into a blush. "Oh geez, I don't think I'm ready for that. Maybe I'll just admire him from afar for a little longer," you nervously said before taking a bite from your food. Denki hummed as he tried to think of some way to get you two to interact. A few more minutes went by, and by now the entirety of the Baku squad was at the lunch table. "He likes cats," Denki said out of nowhere, which caused everyone at the table, with the exception of Bakugo, to give him a confused look. "Shinso, he likes cats," Denki repeated, this time looking your way. Your eyes instantly lit up as you caught on to what Kaminari was suggesting. "Denki Kaminari, you're a genius," you said happily before quickly chugging your drink so you could leave. "Said no one ever," Jiro teased at the previous statement, which everyone included Kaminari and you laugh. Once you finished your drink, you quickly murmured a "thanks" and pecked Kaminari's cheek before turning into a beautiful long-furred cat and made your way towards Shinso's table. "Wowzers," Kaminari whispered as he caressed the cheek you had kissed. "Lucky," Sero whined with a jealous expression gracing his features. When Shinso heard meowing, he thought he took a really bad hit from his previous training session with Aizawa. It was now hallucinating or something, until he looked down and was met with a huge pair of eyes looking up at him. He couldn't help but smile at the beautiful creature before offering his hand to you in your cat form so you could smell him. Once you did, you rubbed your body against him to let him know you wanted him to pet you, which he did. After about 5 minutes of him reaching down to pet you, you realized he must be in a really uncomfortable position, so you jumped up and sat on his lap. Shinsou couldn't help but smile at the precious creature as he continued to pet its silky long fur. It was like, for just a brief moment, all his anxieties and insecurities washed away, like someone had noticed him and wanted to pull him out of his depressive state. It's not that deep. It's just a cat, Hitoshi, he thought to himself as he continued to pet you. How did you get in here anyway? He asked as he began to scratch under your chin. You figured there was only a few minutes left before the bell signaling for all of you to go back to class rang, so you jumped off his lap and made your way back towards the Boku squad table in your cat form, only turning back when you were sure the purple-haired boy wasn't watching you. So how'd it go? Kirishima asked you once you were back into your human form. Good. He's so sweet, you said dreamily. Aw, does listener have a little crush? Mina teased, which only caused you to blush. The next day you repeated the process of finishing your lunch fairly quickly and heading over to hang out with Shinsou in your cat form. A few weeks went by and Shinsou had grown used to the routine of being greeted by the mysterious cat. You know, one of these days I just might have to take you back to my dorm, since you're always hanging around me anyway, he joked as he scratched your nose. You couldn't help but take in his magnolia scent. You're honestly the best part about my school days sometimes. I've been working hard, but some days I just feel like I'm holding on to false hope. I know I'm so close to joining the hero course, but I can't help but doubt myself anyway. But seeing your adorable face every day really keeps me going, he confessed as he continued to pet you. You couldn't help but feel bad. He wasn't aware that he was confessing his deepest insecurities to you. You felt almost like a spy, and it killed you to betray his trust, even if he wasn't aware that you weren't actually a cat. Thanks for that. I know you're just a cat, but your company really does make a difference, he spoke gently. You licked his hand as if to let him know that you felt the same way. Whether you liked it or not, your charade was going to be ending soon. For your hero training, All Might and Aizawa broke off your class into groups of 3 for a rescue training scenario where you'd have to rescue victims played by fellow classmates, as well as fight off robot villains. Just your luck, you were paired with both Shoto Todoroki and Katsuki Bakugo, a group which was met by annoyance by other students. No fair, you paired the top 3 students in our class. The rest of us don't even have a chance at this point. They're literally the strongest. How is that fair? Were some of the complaints thrown towards the instructors. Life isn't fair, Aizawa scolded them at the same time, and All Might said, the groups were chosen at random. We'll be observing from the booth. Recovery Girl will be on standby, Aizawa informed the class as he made his way up to the bleachers and into the observation room. No sabotaging other teams. Shoto, Listener, and Ground Zero are up first. The victims have been placed and you have some time to plan before the exercise begins, All Might informed the class, before he too made his way towards the booth. Let's give 'em a show, boys, he whispered, only for your team to hear. Bakugo gave the rescue site a malicious smirk, while Todoroki's features intensified. The look on his face alone could freeze anyone in the room. No quirk required. You may begin, Aizawa's voice boomed from the speakers, and as if on cue, you turned into a cheetah and ran towards the ruins, while your partners used their quirks to propel themselves into the air to get a better view. Unbeknownst to you, this training session had one extra audience member. They're the top 3 students in my class. You shall learn a lot from observing, Aizawa informed Shinsou, as the hopeful hero began to take notes on the technique the 3 of you were using. Who's the girl? She new? The tired boy asked the equally tired man. She's a transfer from Shiketsu. She's got a lot of potential to become a great hero one day, All Might exclaimed, not once taking his eyes off the screen as he watched you take down a robot after robot in your bear form. With that quirk, I bet, Shinsou spoke sarcastically, a pang of jealousy in his chest at how blessed you were to be able to transfer to the top hero class and have such a powerful quirk. It's not about her quirk, it's about how she uses it. If she had any less control over it, She would easily destroy those robots, but she managed to only knock them out, which is one of the points of this exercise, since heroes try not to kill, as I will explain to his protege. Shinzo hummed as he continued to watch you, now fighting smaller, human-sized robots in your human form. It was clear you were extremely well trained in the martial arts. She learned all that in Shiketsu? The lavender-haired boy asked his sensei once more. Part of him couldn't help but feel bad for writing you off as a Mary Sue, with a strong quirk as he watched you take down the two robots at once with sheer human force alone. No, she interns with Ed Shot. He gives her martial art lessons on his days off, too. It seems as if he's seen something special in her, too, All Might informed the tired boy once more. Listener, I can hear someone crying under this large pile of rubble, but the opening is too small for me to fit, and my quirk can make the situation worse, Todoroki informed you. You quickly took down one last robot before heading over to where he was to inspect the opening. I could get in there in my cat form, but I need you to stay here to pull out whoever's stuck down there, you explained. The dual-haired boy nodded as he watched you transform into a cat with beautiful long fur. Cute, the stoic cat-loving boy mumbled as he went through the opening. Shinzo, on the other hand, watched the screen with wide eyes. The cat, from the lunchroom, it isn't a cat, he thought to himself. No, I'm crazy. Tons of cats look alike. This could just be a giant coincidence. I mean, I didn't even know this girl, and she doesn't know me. Logically, it makes no sense that she would turn into a cat just to sit on my lap during lunch. He tries to reason with himself, but instead of relaxing him, it only made him even more anxious. He kept replaying every single personal thing he had told the cat in his head. But as he watched you in your cat form squeeze out of the small opening after handing Todoroki a balled-up crying Mineta, he realized he couldn't lie to himself anymore. You were definitely the lunchroom cat. It was safe to say Hitoshi Shinsou was mortified. The tired boy was only brought out of his anxiety-filled daze once Aizawa hit a loud buzzer signifying that the simulation had ended, and your group had rescued all the victims as well as taken down all the villains. 6 minutes and 32 seconds is the time to beat. Red Riot, Crazy, and Can't Stop Twinkling are up next. Wait 5 minutes for the victims to take their places, and use this time to plan, All Might announced through the speakers. Once every team went through the simulation, Aizawa asked Shinzo to come down to meet the students with him and All Might, and help give an outside perspective. Normally Shinzo would have been anxious to meet with Class 1A, but this time he wasn't. He was more infatuated with the possibility of standing so close to you and figuring you out. It's definitely a weird situation. I don't know a thing about her, yet I feel like we're friends, he thought to himself as he made his way down the bleachers behind All Might and Aizawa, their much larger figures hiding his form from the students' view. We've brought along a familiar face to help brief you and offer an outsider's point of view on your choices throughout the exercise, Aizawa announced as he stepped aside to reveal none other than the purple-haired boy who you were oh so taken with lately. As you took a nervous gulp, Denki yelled, "Best friend!" before tackling Shinzo into a hug. As the briefing began, your team was up first, and you couldn't help but grow anxious by the second. You knew the facade had to end at some point, but you hoped it would be on your own terms. I just had to go and turn into a cat. A fox would have probably fit through the hole too, you scolded yourself. Dread loomed in the room as your team stepped forward to receive their feedback. Ground Zero, you've grown a lot over the course of the year, and your cooperation has definitely gotten better, but you didn't save nearly as many people as your teammates. Try to focus on dividing your time better in between taking down villains and rescuing people, Aizawa informed Bakugo, who replied with his signature t. Shoto, you've grown a lot over the course of the year, and actually took your partner's strengths and weaknesses into account when forming a plan. You still acted more as a team leader as opposed to an equal partner, but of the points of the exercise was to make you see others as your equals, All Might informed Todoroki, who just nodded his head in understanding, almost as if to say, I'll do better next time. Listener, Shinzo will be delivering your briefing, as Aizawa informed you, which caused you to lock eyes with the purple-haired boy. Maybe I'm fine. Maybe he didn't notice my last transformation. The boys are way more exciting to watch than me anyway, you tried to reassure yourself, but when your eyes met his, you knew it was over. Like a deer in headlights, you were caught. Listener, your one-on-one fighting was fine. I think you should have used your quirk more. For example, the cat thing? Genius. The lavender-haired boy spoke. You swore there was violence in his tone. He must feel so betrayed. There's no way he doesn't know, you thought to yourself, never once breaking eye contact with the tired boy. You should point out the negatives too, All Might whispered Shinsou's way, although everyone heard his pointer. You spent too much time fighting and not enough rescuing, Shinsou said in a curt tone, instantly breaking eye contact. Thank you for your feedback, you said in an almost inaudible tone, which was filled with agony. He hates me, was the only thing running through your mind as your heart broke. Shinsou hadn't meant to be so rude, but when it was all said and done, you were gone and he couldn't take his abrupt tone back. Being there, standing in front of you, flooded him with feelings of betrayal that he hadn't realized he was feeling. It's not like he hated you, but he was pretty annoyed with you for not telling him the truth. He felt like a fool, not because you bamboozled him either, but because he missed your presence during lunch. 2 weeks went by and he realized it was over. You wouldn't be visiting him anymore. He knew he risked being rejected, but he just had to speak to you and figure out your reasoning behind the whole cat fiasco. His indigo orbs examined the lunchroom until they landed on you, sitting alone at the Boku squad table. It was clear to him you were probably waiting for your friends. At this point he had already psyched himself out of speaking to you. He was about to look away until he spotted Mineta walking up to you. Shinsou sighed as he grabbed his tray and got up from his seat. Knowing Mineta, there was no way he wasn't going to either make you uncomfortable or try to grope you. As annoyed as he was with the way of you handling things, there was no way he was going to let anyone make his kitten uncomfortable, much less Mineta of all people. Come on, just one kiss. I've been told I'm God's gift to women, the sleazy grape-looking boy said as he took a seat next to you. Usually one of the other boys scared him off for you, but today most of the Boku squad, with the exception of you and Jiro, who were running late, got detention, so Mineta took it as a chance to pull his moves on you. Ew, as if, you cried out in disgust as you scoot over to get as far away from the perv as you could. Although Mineta was nothing if not persistent, so he scooted over even more to be near you. Mind if I sit? A deep voice asked. Yes, we'd like some privacy, the little perv spoke, but as soon as his sentence ended, his face lost all emotion. Mineta, I'm going to need you to leave the lunchroom. Go lock yourself in your dorm, the deep voice spoke once more. Mineta did as he was told without uttering a single word. Once the pervert left the room, you finally looked your savior's way. It was none other than Hitoshi Shinsou. Thank you, you whispered, still shaking from having the grape-themed pervert so close to you. Any time, he said with a much softer tone, the tone you had grown accustomed to, the tone you recognized. The indigo-haired boy placed his lunch tray in front of you before taking a seat. With wide eyes, you watched him. She's not even using her quirk, yet she still resembles a cat, he thought to himself as he caught a glimpse of your surprised expression. You haven't been coming around over to my table lately. I've missed you, he finally let out after the two of you sat in silence for what felt like hours and was probably only minutes. I figured you wanted nothing to do with me, you timidly spoke. What would give you such a silly idea like that? He asked with a mischievous smirk on his face. You were about to answer until you remembered what he had just done to Mineta, so instead you just took a sip of your drink without breaking eye contact. Shinsou sighed once he realized you were wary of his quirk. Fine, I was going to use my quirk to find out why you did what you did, he admitted before taking a bite of his food. He hummed before thinking about what he had just said. You seem lonesome, surrounded by people, yet I could tell none of them knew you. Not really. So I wanted to know you. Be that person for you, you know? I'm a bit shy outside of my hero persona, you admitted in a whisper. And how did you know I liked cats? The indigo boy asked with a cocked eyebrow. A little Pikachu told me, you informed him with a smile, which he couldn't help but return. Well, if your offer is still up, I'd love to get to know you as well, the beautiful boy said as he offered you his hand to shake, which you gratefully took. I'd love that too. The blush rushing to your cheeks was impossible to fight at this point. Oh, and feel free to use your cat form. You're utterly adorable in it, and out of it, he teased, which made you let out a squeal that only caused him to laugh. Little did you know, that moment would signify the start of a lovely friendship, and possibly even more. Well, I all hope you enjoyed, and if you did, leave a like, comment, and subscribe for my future uploads. And if you have any character you would like me to read about, leave it down below in the comments, and I will definitely look into it. And until next time, I will see you all later.